Mike Tyson has given a massive warning to Jake Paul ahead of their highly anticipated clash. Tyson has started his training camp, where he impressed onlookers with his remarkable hand speed and formidable power.
One more.
The video captures Tyson engaging in a rigorous training session alongside his coach, Rafael Cordero, as they focus on pad work and enhancing his stamina. The video concludes as Tyson delivers a chilling message directly aimed at Paul, instilling a sense of dread in viewers. In addition to it, Tyson has just shared another horrific warning for Paul.
Day 4, it was okay, but you don't know what you got in store, baby. You got to face the God of War. And get ready, baby. Fire in the house.
Meanwhile, in a podcast episode with Joe Rogan, Mike Tyson discussed a confrontation he had with Jake Paul. Tyson recounted encountering Jake Paul, noting that they were in the same area, essentially sharing the same space, as this happened while he was on someone's boat where Paul also appeared to be.
Floyd Mayweather versus Manny Pacquiao was big, but culturally, you versus Jake Paul, like this young YouTuber takes on one of the greatest heavyweight champions that's ever lived.
I love that. Sounds good. Hey, everybody, listen. Continue,
Are
please.
you listening to this? If he's willing to do it, you know how crazy it is if he's willing to do it?
I saw Jake Paul. I was in St. Bart's. and I don't know who you, I was on somebody's boat, and he was there.
Rogan responded by pointing out the potential magnitude of a fight between them, suggesting that such a fight would be significant due to the widespread interest it would likely attract. In response to this, Tyson expressed his enthusiasm, indicating his willingness by suggesting they proceed with the idea.
All right, put a picture of me and
His
him
brother's
at St.
great
Bart's.
too. Logan's a
Can you
really
do
nice
that,
guy.
please?
But my point is, that fight would be gigantic.
Oh,
Because
man.
first of all, everybody would want to see what.
Let's do it, Jakey.
However, Campbell Hatton has voiced concern, suggesting that the training clips featuring Mike Tyson may have led fans astray, fostering a belief that Tyson is fully equipped to face Jake Paul in the ring. He proposes that the footage is being strategically employed to justify the fight. Hatton said, "People are getting carried away because Tyson looks incredibly formidable in training videos, but people are justifying the fight based on his training prowess." Hatton underscored the importance of considering Tyson's age, highlighting that despite his formidable punching prowess, enduring rounds of combat and absorbing blows at 57 presents a formidable obstacle. He expressed concern about the possible adverse impact Tyson's loss could have on impressionable young fans, who have been enthralled by his training clips. Hatton cautioned, "If Jake Paul knocks him out due to Tyson's age and diminished resistance, it could mislead young fans. It might give the wrong impression to newcomers who've been introduced to boxing through YouTube." On the other hand, Jake Paul has also responded to Tyson's insane warning. As Tyson questioned him if he still wanted to fight with him, Paul was quick to respond. He tweeted, yes, I do. Paul will step into the ring against Tyson, riding a wave of 3 consecutive victories, with his latest 2 triumphs earned against lesser-ranked opponents in the professional boxing circuit. In a recent interview, he said, "I can't believe it. It's surreal to me. I'm still trying to process and comprehend it. When we faced off for the first time, afterward, I started laughing. I stepped away and was like, bro, what the is going on?" Now, we know that Tyson and Paul have faced off for the fight announcement, but everyone is now asking about when the official press conference will be. While there are still no official comments on it, insiders reveal that we may see it anytime next month. However, until then, we can enjoy all the warnings and training videos coming both from Tyson and Paul.
Sign the contract, big boy. Sign the contract.
No problem. Saturday, July 20th. See you there, buddy.
Meanwhile, upon learning about the match between Tyson and Paul, Oscar De La Hoya expressed concern for Tyson's safety going up against a much younger opponent like Paul. The CEO of Golden Boy Promotions was against the idea of Tyson confronting an opponent 3 decades his junior. Oscar said, "I have been preaching since the beginning with Jake Paul that he actually can do it. He can get a world title, but only if he takes a different route. This route going up against Mike Tyson is not just the right one for me." He discussed the advantages and disadvantages of a Tyson versus Paul matchup. While suggesting that Paul pursue an alternate path to become a world champion, De La Hoya also expressed confidence in Tyson's potential to defeat the problem child with a knockout. He added, "I mean, Mike Tyson's 60 years old. Jake Paul's what, 26? 27? If Jake Paul wants to take boxing seriously, take the route that all the other fighters take. Tough fights, up the ranks, top 10 fighters, top 5, world champion. Not this route with Tyson. In another interview with ES News, Oscar stressed that Mike Tyson faced formidable opponents during his prime. He said, "Tyson still has the punching power. The last thing to go till you're in your grave, basically? Yeah, Tyson catches him with a good one. It's obviously lights out for Jake Paul." In this connection, while Oscar did not completely turn a blind eye to Paul's chances of winning, he said, "But that's if he catches him. I was studying the Roy Jones-Tyson fight the other night, and Tyson was actually doing great." Tyson, appearing in prime condition ahead of his exhibition match with Jones in 2020, hasn't shied away from expressing his thoughts on Paul's journey in the boxing realm so far. As far back as April 2022, he weighed in on the 27-year-old's bold move to enter the squared circle. Tyson said, "I love the fact he jumped into the game. People don't understand that boxing needs that. At this stage in boxing, the greatest fighters are not fighting each other. Boxing needs a guy like this." Reflecting on the occasion this week, Jake Paul fondly recalled his expedition. He said, "It's crazy to think that in my second pro fight, I went viral for knocking out Nate Robinson on Mike Tyson's undercard. Now, less than 4 years later, I'm stepping up to face Tyson myself to see if I have what it takes to beat one of boxing's most notorious fighters and biggest icons." Tony Jeffries, the former Olympic boxing medalist who has since become a coach, is keen to share his extensive boxing knowledge.
Mike Tyson's last professional fight was nearly 20 years ago in 2005, although he did have an exhibition fight with Roy Jones Jr. 4 years ago, where Jake Paul, on the other hand, has been having fights regular, keeping active, training as good, if not better, than most professional boxers.
Tony was asked if he had ever considered the scenario of Mike Tyson, the legendary boxer, attempting to assert his dominance against a younger fighter. Jeffries responded with a thoughtful and sincere reflection on the matter. Tony said, "He has nothing to prove. If it goes horribly wrong for Mike Tyson, he will be remembered by the younger generation as that old boxer that got knocked out by Jake Paul." Jeffries' contemplation didn't end with Tyson's legacy. He pivoted to the fight's implications for Jake Paul. He said, "I'm sorry to say, this is possible. The man is a living legend, a boxing icon." Further, Jeffries illuminated the upside for Paul, pinpointing the significant opportunity this fight represents for the younger contender. "I think this fight is great for Jake, not Mike," he asserted. Steven Jackson, renowned for his unfiltered perspectives, has recently voiced his concerns regarding the forthcoming bout between Jake Paul and Mike Tyson during an episode of the All the Smoke podcast. A fervent admirer of Tyson, he reflected. His ups and downs of life and how he made love to the bad times is still here doing big things. "I just don't want him to go out there and risk his legacy dealing with a guy like Jake Paul." While acknowledging Paul's success, Jackson couldn't mask his concern. "If he knocked Mike Tyson out, I'm just telling you, somebody's going to wait outside and hurt him for real," indicating the deep respect Tyson commands and the controversial nature of Paul's challenge. UFC's Johnny Walker, the light heavyweight contender, recently expressed his surprisingly upbeat views on the matchup. Walker characterized the bout as a money-driven endeavor, yet acknowledged Tyson's entitlement to it as a revered icon in the realm of boxing. Walker remarked, "I actually think that the Jake Paul and Mike Tyson fight is a very good smart marketing fight. Both will make a lot of money. Good for Mike, he deserves it. And I think it will be an exhibition fight. What do you think?" Former world champion Amir Khan has given his prediction for the anticipated fight between the legendary Mike Tyson and blogger Jake Paul. Khan is of the opinion that Iron Mike will clinch a victory through an early knockout. Amir Khan said, "The fight between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul? Wow, no one would have ever expected a fight like that fight to be made. Mike Tyson is a legend of the game and not someone who you want to mess about with. Even though he's older now and has been retired for a long time, he's obviously done a few exhibitions." Khan further expressed his concern for Jake Paul, suggesting that engaging in a fight with a heavyweight legend like Tyson could result in significant harm. He openly questioned Paul's reasoning behind accepting a fight against such a renowned and powerful figure in the boxing world. Khan added, "I just feel that he can really hurt Jake Paul. I just can't believe what Jake Paul's thinking. He's fighting a heavyweight great, and I think he can get hurt badly." Khan questioned the reality of the fight between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul, suggesting that it might just be a hype strategy, as they both announced it simultaneously. He expressed his astonishment and concern, hoping that Tyson would not seriously injure Paul. According to Khan, is it just hype with Mike and Jake posting it at the same? "This is unreal, and I hope that Mike doesn't end up hurting him, because at the end of the day, I like Jake. But Mike is not a person you want to mess with or do an exhibition with, especially when you're a lot smaller and lighter." Furthermore, Khan expressed his uncertainty about whether the fight would actually take place, admitting his amazement and shock at the prospect. Despite these doubts, he predicted that if the fight does happen, Mike Tyson would win by knockout, highlighting that Tyson, even in his 50s, remains an imposing and dangerous figure not to be underestimated. He added, "I don't know how this is going to go. Is it really going to happen? It amazes me and I'm shocked. I've got Mike Tyson winning by knockout. Even though he's in his 50s, he's still a dangerous guy not to be messed with." So, that's all from today's video. If you enjoyed it, remember to leave a like, subscribe, and ring that bell icon so you never miss our upcoming videos.